Welcome back, Truth Seeker. It is Monday, October 21st, 2019. Today in the world of sports, not a whole lot going on. Got a group of NHL games, got Monday Night Football, and then, of course, tomorrow the World Series begins Tuesday, October 22nd. So we'll talk about those things. And before we get into today's games, let's review yesterday, like we typically do, review the day before. So, NFL, some weeks, man, the afternoon games really make me sour. I don't know what it is about the afternoon games some weeks. Seems we have a lot of great mornings, and then the afternoon is very disappointing. Had a gentleman text yesterday. He said he really screwed up yesterday, had a great morning, and then lost everything, plus lost more because he went huge on the Seahawks. And, again, you guys, that's not ever what I, teach. I say be consistent, There were a lot of good games yesterday. We hit the majority of games. There's no way you should have a losing day yesterday. I mean, it just shouldn't happen. Don't get greedy and go crazy. He really liked the Seahawks alignment. Remember, there was one thing there in that game. Russell Wilson could get his 38th regular season loss. Ravens equals 38. It's a very QB-driven league. So, I mean, the chance was there. And I guess it was time for the annual punking. I'm sure it's like this in a lot of states. I live in Washington State, so I just get to see it. I mean, I don't even live in Seattle anymore. I live out in the rural area, but it's the same thing. Everyone watches the football games. Yesterday I was at the grocery store after the game. Everyone walking around in their Seahawks sweatshirts and their caps and just sulking. You can just see it. They're just sulking. They're just so sad that the Seahawks lost. They're still wearing their Seahawks gear. They're hunched over. They're slumped around. You can just see it. You just see the difference in the energy level of the people when the Seahawks win and when they lose. And been a while since the Seahawks lost, so I guess it was just that time. But anyway, I just want to remind people, do not get greedy. Had that gentleman just stayed with the plan, he would have had a good morning. He would have lost on the Seahawks. He would have come out ahead. But he was really feeling that Seahawks. He wanted to get even further ahead. He went huge on it and ended up in the hole yesterday. Again, I preach the same thing every single day. Be the tortoise. Be conservative. Don't get greedy. And remember, there is such a thing as, the game that just lines up the most, and it's the one that doesn't come through. I know what he saw yesterday. He saw the thing with Pete Carroll. He thought there was no way that Pete Carroll wasn't getting that 95th win and 128th win total as a coach outside of the Seahawks because of how it lined up with Baltimore, Maryland, but still. Anyway. So, football games this week. By the way, tonight, if the Patriots win tonight, they're going to win 8 straight against the Jets. Again, this week, the streaks of 8 are perfect. There's been 3 that have happened this week. The Chiefs won their 8th straight against the Broncos to start the week. Yesterday, the Redskins lost their 8th straight home game. And what was the other 8? The Packers beat the Raiders for the 8th straight time. So far this week, streaks of 8 are 3 for 3. If the Patriots win tonight, it'll be the 8th straight win over the Jets for the Patriots. And again, streaks of 8 in 2019. They've been really good for us. 19 is the 8th prime number. It's 2019. Okay, so we know what happened Thursday Night Football. The Rams at the Falcons. Again, we were looking for the numbers that had the strong Week 7 connections. Jared Goff, his record... well, also the Rams head-to-head record. The Rams got their 48th win. Atlanta's 48th. They got it in Atlanta, and they stayed on 28 losses. 28's the 7th triangular number. Plus Goff, he stayed on 17 regular season losses. 17's the 7th prime and got his 28th regular season win. So did McVay. So a lot of 7. 28-17. Both numbers that have a mathematical relationship with 7. Goff stayed on 7 away losses in the regular season as well. He got his 17th away win all time. It was also Goff's 7th day of his age. So 7s were abound. The one concern in this game was that the Falcons had a chance to improve to 2-5. Falcons is 25 in the most Pierce cipher. But again, the 7s were hard to go against with Goff. And Rams really smoked the Falcons too. Somebody pointed out that the Falcons became 10-9 in their new stadium. I saw this in a comment. Great comment, by the way. I didn't catch this in the Decode. But Mercedes-Benz Stadium where they play has the 109. Falcons fell to 10-9 in their new stadium. So that's a tricky stat to get for most teams to go back and figure out what their total record is. But because the Falcons are in a newer stadium, not as many games to count. But great observation there that the Falcons fell to 10-9. So the Dolphins and Bills, again, we like the Bills. Josh Rosen, his home away record has been very consistent this year with the opponents he's faced. And Rosen became 6-3 at home. Buffalo 63. Like I said at the beginning of the week, I liked it better when they had Rosen in there as the starter than when they switched it to Fitzpatrick, because had Rosen lost, he would have become 2-7 away. Buffalo's also 27. Miami's 27. But even though they changed the starter and it was Fitzpatrick who used to play for the Bills, I just stuck with the initial thought about Allen, his home away record being good. And McDermott also got his 20th win on the 20th of the month. Plus, when you write out 7 as a word, it equals 20. Allen also stayed on 7 losses. So that was there. The Jaguars and Bengals. This was the game that we got wrong in the morning, or at least I did. And, of course, taking the winless Bengals was a risk. They got their 7th loss in Week 7 against the Jaguars. Jaguars 77. So, I mean, there was some rhyme and reason there to it. But I thought ultimately the Jaguars would pick up that 7th loss at the Bengals in Week 7, making their record 4-7 because Ohio's 47. I thought we might get some Ohio love. We saw Minshew could become 2-4 or 3-3. Bengals is 24 in the more pure cipher, but it does have an S. It's also 33, so he became 3-3. So I wasn't shocked that the Bengals lost the game. I just wanted to take the risk on that 7 in the Ohio Tribune. I ended up plugging in all the ref information Saturday night. If you went over that, the ref on the field, the Bengals were undefeated with him prior to that game, so I was thinking maybe that was an encouraging sign as well. But Jaguars improved to 4-1 with that ref. Vikings and Lions, this looked like one of the better reads of the week. It was all surface level. Minnesota improves to 5-2. We love Minnesota in 52. Plus the Lions became 2-3-1. Minnesota Vikings equals 231. I mean, you just got to say, what are the odds that that's even possible? Riddles like that, very nice. And in this game, Stafford became the youngest quarterback to 40,000 yards, so he got a career accomplishment, and his team lost. And we see that again and again, too, where QBs, they set a new mark, they surpass a record, they have their day, but their team loses. And we like that Zimmer would get his 52nd win as well, as his team improved to 5-2. Minnesota's 52, so is Ford Field, where the game was. The Raiders and Packers, again, a lot lined up for Aaron Rodgers. It looked just like the Dallas game with his win-loss record. Like almost every single stat he hit connected to the opponent and the date numerology. And then also it made a lot of sense for the Packers to improve to 4-1 at home. Oakland 41, Green Bay 41, Rodgers 41, Bart 41, Starr 41. We talked about how Bart Starr died at age 85. The Packers became 8-5 against the Raiders, and they won their 8th straight game against the Raiders. And again, those streaks at 8 have been really great. Aaron Rodgers went for 6 touchdowns. I got to think about, well, I guess I do know the answer to that. When you write out 6, it equals 52. Like Raiders equals 52. 6 touchdowns versus the Raiders. Texans and Colts. In this game, the 7s were on both sides for the quarterback if the Colts won. Plus, the caller who called in a bunch this week about the 15s, he did a great job. He pointed out the Texans could also get their 15th loss on the 15-date numerology. I mean, I should have seen these. For some reason, I didn't catch that until he called in, but that was a great observation. I was looking at the 7s. I guess I was just so fixed on 7s, I was overlooking other things. But anyway, Texans got their 15th loss on the 15-date numerology. Colts equals 15. But the 7s is what stood out to me. Watson got his 7th away loss, and Brissett, he stayed on 7 losses at home. So, week 7. Next week, if anyone starts their I'll have the notes out later for week 8, but I'll really be looking for 19s and 8 connections in week 8 because the week number always important. So I noticed that the ref Tony Carrente really liked the Colts too. Colts are 15-5 with him. The Texans were 6-14 with him. So, huge disparity in how those teams perform with that ref. The Cardinals and Giants. Cardinals looked great to me. There wasn't really any much to blink at in this game. Again, the national media sold Daniel Jones all week, just setting up the Kyler Murray narrative. Cardinals improved to 3-3-1, like 331, the 67th prime. Kyler Murray 67, plus 3-3 in the win and loss column. New York 33, so is Glendale, the Cardinals home. And then Shermer just made too much sense with the loss, getting that 39th loss. Arizona and New York 39. Stayed on 7 wins with the Giants. Stayed on 17 wins all time as a coach. Giants fell to 2-5. Giants 25 in the most pure cipher. And then 49ers Redskins. I thought the smart thing to do if you were going to take this game was take the Redskins to cover. They did cover. You had to enjoy number 9, the field goal kicker, putting through the 9th points. Redskins equals 99. But we also noticed, or I put up the note before the games began, that the Redskins could lose their 8th straight game. So that gave a lot more encouragement to the Redskins losing, which they did, 9-0. And it was a slip and slide type of game. On the surface, outside of that streak of 8, there was a lot of things that could have gone against the 49ers here. They could have stayed on 17 wins in week 7, 17 the 7th prime. They also had the chance to stay on 10 losses in the 29th game, 29 the 10th prime. 49ers did stay on 7 losses at the Redskins, so that was the 1-7 going in their favor. And Shanahan, who used to coach against the Redskins, he did get his 16th win. FedEx Field's 53, the 16th prime. When you write out 6, it equals 16. So he got his 6th win of the season and 16th as a head coach. Doing it against the old team. And let's see. Keenum had a chance at his 28th win. 28, the 7th triangular number. So Keenan had a 7 connection. He could have evened his record at 15-15 at home on the 15-date numerology. And Callahan, the new coach, had a chance to become 17-17 in the regular season. Again, 17, the 7th prime. So he, there were riddles there for the Redskins, but like we said, it was just hard to believe. I mean, the 49ers look like a great team, playing really strong defense, running the ball nice. Yes, it's all scripted, but that's the narrative this year. Redskins look like a major loser. So anyway, ultimately, if you did take the game, we had the right call. The morning suggested 49ers on the money line because of the streak of 8 once that was realized. And prior to that, Redskins to cover. So that did happen. The Chargers and Titans. Like I said, I was leaning Titans in this game, but I wasn't going to make a pick at it because the Titans have been a weird team this year. But Tannehill was coming in on the perfect day. And he led his team to a victory that would have been a major anxiety type of game. What a crazy ending. Goal line fumble. Anyway, Chargers did have a shot at that 28th win in week 7, 28 the 7th triangular number. They also had a shot at the 15th loss on the 15-date numerology in Tennessee, 47 the 15th prime. And Rivers, his win or loss could have gone either way. However, if he would have lost, he would have been 7-2 versus the Titans, which he did become, on the day leaving 72 days left in the year. So that was a clue. That's why that's underlined. He became 2-2 at Tennessee. Titans 79, the 22nd prime. Chargers is also 79, so that made sense as well. And Anthony Lynn stayed on 15 losses with the Chargers on the 15-date numerology. He could have got his 17th regular season loss, though. So again, this is why this game was a tough one. I guess his all-time win-loss record made sense because he got his 25th win all-time. When you write out 7, it equals 25, and he stayed on 17 losses all-time. And then Tannehill, you could have made an argument for him either way. The name of the stadium might have made it a little bit more suggestive that he would get the win. And again, Ryan Tannehill equaled 72, and he was making his debut on the day, leaving 72 days left in the year. We talked about how if the Titans won, they would face the Bucks 3-4, Tampa Bay Bucks 34. So Tennessee's also 34. Either team could have become 3-4 in Tennessee, but only one team's named Tennessee. The Tennessee team did emerge 3-4, and the ref, he had a little Tennessee connection. Bill Vinovich, number 52. Tennessee's also 52. Bill Vinovich, 137, like Tennessee, but also like Chargers. And we saw the Chargers could stay on 7 wins with Bill Vinovich in Week 7. They did. And the Titans record, though, with Bill could have made sense with a loss to Los Angeles. So it was a very close game, and it was the closest game of the week in terms of the outcome. Goal line finish. Kevin Dyson. Younger people might not remember Kevin Dyson. Titans lost the Super Bowl at the goal line with Kevin Dyson. Saints and Bears. I kind of feel dumb about this. I mean, the Trubisky riddle was there, but again, we've been talking about expecting the Saints to dominate this year. When Teddy Bridgewater came in, we said, we didn't even flinch. We said, looks like they're still going to do good with Bridgewater. A lot lines up for him. We talked about last week how if the Saints won last week, they could become 6-1 against the Bears, like 61 the 18th prime, Bears 18. And that's exactly what they did. And anyway, the problem was there wasn't a whole lot that was really standing out stat-wise in this game. You know, other than that 61-18 thing. There was also the riddle that if the Saints lost, it would have synced up with the Pope. They did that last year. And 2 weeks in a row. Last week it was the coach Marrone had a chance at his 19th win. This week it was the QB Trubisky had a chance at his 19th win. Saints is 19. Special number there with the Saints. And 2 weeks in a row, two teams don't pick it up. And I realized that yesterday, Sunday, they brought back the story again about the collapsed Hard Rock Hotel in New Orleans. They were doing the demolition thing yesterday. So back-to-back Sundays, you're hearing about this Hard Rock Hotel in New Orleans in the news. Again, the Super Bowl's in Miami and Hard Rock Stadium. Maybe it sounds like the national media is calling for a benching of Trubisky and for the Bears to move on. It'll be interesting if Trubisky doesn't get off those 18 wins because Bears is 18. So, and I guess one other thing I should have thought about is Trubisky did get his 8th home loss all time. 19 is the 8th prime number, but I was thinking week 7 he could stay on that 7. He did pick up his 7th home loss in the regular season though, so anyway. It wasn't smart to go against the Saints. We identified in spring that this looks like it would be a great season for the Saints. Ravens at Seahawks. This game did hurt the most, especially getting the text message from the gentleman who said he blew it all on the Seahawks game, which, again, wasn't taking my advice, but I understand why he liked this game so much. So anyway, Seattle Seahawks does equal 43 in the most pure cipher. The game had 43 points at the end before the needless field goal was kicked in the closing seconds. Something that happened yesterday in the news. The former Baltimore mayor died by the numbers, and he was the 43rd mayor of Baltimore. Again, Seattle Seahawks is 43, football's 43. I don't think that was an accident. I think that was probably a clue as to what was going to happen in this game. And consider you had 2 Baltimore deaths in the week. You also had Rep. Cummings, who represented a large portion of the city of Baltimore. But Ravens could have fallen to 2-4 versus the Seahawks. Seahawks is 24 in the most pure cipher. Jackson could have become 4-3 away. Seattle Seahawks is 43 in the most pure cipher. And I didn't even want to go there. In hindsight, I wish I would have thrown it out there. But we've talked about it before. Seattle Seahawks does have a K in it. K is the 11th letter. If you use the master numerology of K, Seattle Seahawks is 52 as well, like the reflection of 25. Ravens is 25. So there was a chance at 5-2. It's just 43 is a big number with the Seahawks. And again, that's why the 43rd mayor, he's dead in the news the day of the game. Again, the Seahawks won their only Super Bowl with 43 points over Colorado. Colorado's 43. So I was thinking, and typically it's the most pure cipher without the numerology exceptions. And also just Pete Carroll too, man. Pete Carroll's normally really good about his alignment, so I'm scratching my head kind of over this. I don't remember the last time I saw a nice alignment for Pete Carroll and it didn't come through. He could have got that 95th win, Baltimore 95. Caller pointed out he could have got his 128th win as a coach, Maryland's 128. And the ref in that game, Brad Allen, he wore the number 122 like Seattle's on the 122nd Meridian, like 12th man's 122. Brad Allen does also equal 174 like Baltimore Ravens, like I had it here in the notes. And the Ravens were undefeated with Brad Allen as a ref, so they stayed undefeated with him. But yeah, the biggest concern for me this game was just Wilson, how he could get that 38th loss, because Ravens is 38. And anyway, yeah. Really wanted that one to come through. I imagine that game probably messed up quite a few people's parlays, but still should have been a good day overall. Eagles and Cowboys. This game was a teeter-totter. What we identified on Saturday, the most standout stat was that Wentz could get his 15th away loss on the 15-date numerology, where SNF equals 15, and we know the Sunday Night Football numbers are important. Wentz did fall to 1-3 at Dallas. Dallas is 13 in the most pure cipher. But there were quite a few things going both ways, but like we wrote in the notes, that that 15 thing's probably the strongest. It ended up being what played out. I wanted to post the information about the home and away records for the week prior to game time. Prior to game time, home teams were 4-8 for week 7. Had Dallas lost, they would have been 4-9. Dallas and Eagles both equal 49, just using the alphabetic order, which has a square root of 7. So, I mean, that had some rhyme and reason to it. But at the same time, if Dallas was going to win, it would have been the 46th home win of the season for all home teams, and Dallas, Texas is 46. So it ended up being that. And I waited until about 20 minutes before game time to post that little nugget, just because I wasn't sure because it was just like, it's hard to say which one's going to go, and I just wanted to keep the information up there, the initial thought about the 15, so hopefully that's what people went with. Caller?
Hey, Zach. Did you say that 7 teams, I'm sorry, did you say that 3 teams won their 8th straight against 3 other teams this weekend?
We had 3 streaks of 8. All right, so again, the Chiefs beat the Broncos for the 8th straight time. That was the first one. The Packers beat the Raiders for the 8th straight time. And then the other one was the Redskins lost their 8th straight home game.
Okay. Well, that's 888, and that's Donald John Trump.
Well, that's true. Okay. And there's one more streak of 8 that can happen tonight. If the Patriots win, it'll be their 8th time in a row beating the Jets.
But wouldn't that upset the 888 that's going on?
Well, so far this year, I think I can't think of a streak of 8 in the NFL that hasn't hit yet. So, I mean, you could look at it as 3 for the week, but for the year, it's definitely more than 3 of them.
Right. Okay.
All right.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Bye.
no problem. Okay. So, yeah, streaks of 8 have been really hard to go against, and if you've gone against them, they've beat you so far in the NFL season. I mean, it's possible there was a streak of 8 on the board in a game we didn't catch this year, but so far, every single one we've observed, it's come through. So, okay, so Patriots at Jets. Let me see if this line's moved since I posted this at the beginning of the week. Let's see what we got for the current line. Looks like, is that the same? Hasn't moved, okay. Alrighty, so Patriots are a 10-point favorite. Over-unders at 42.5. Remember when you write out 10 as a word, it equals 39, like New York. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Hey, this is J-Rock in Canada.
Yeah.
I just Today is election day in Canada.
Right.
It's a federal election.
Right.
And I find it no coincidence that the Leafs are playing Blue Jackets, and also Ottawa against Stars. Ottawa is the capital of Canada.
Right.
And also Washington used to be the Expos.
Right.
And
hold on, go back though. What's the synchronicity with Toronto playing the Columbus Blue Jackets? I don't get that one.
Well, isn't the Blue Jackets? Isn't that some kind of a
patriotic?
Code?
It's like a patriotic thing.
Yeah. And then Ottawa against Stars, you know.
Okay.
And I just want to say thanks, man. I've been listening to you for a while. I found you on Tinfoil Hat podcast.
Very cool.
And interesting Washington in it this year, because when I first knew sports was rigged was when Montreal, the year of the lockout year, the Jays had just won it twice in a row. And the third year, the strike year, Montreal was in first place by a mile that year. And I find it a coincidence that they canceled the year because they didn't want another Canadian team
Sure.
to win it 3 years in a row.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good observation.
So I don't know, I just thought you could include that in your decode that it's election day up here.
Okay, that is a good thought. Yeah.
All right, thanks, bud.
All right, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Okay, bye.
Okay. For the people who were calling in during that call, please call back. Just the line was occupied. So on the surface, if the home team loses tonight, home teams will fall to 5-3 on Monday Night Football. Patriots equals 53. If the Patriots won, they'd be 7-0. Patriots equals 70. We still only have two undefeated teams in the league, the 49ers and the Patriots, representing the two respective conferences. But Patriots could get to 7-0 on the 70 day. Caller?
Hey, what's up, brother? How you been?
Hey, doing all right, man.
So, I don't know if you covered this, but I shot you a text. The Bengals, going into that Jacksonville game, were on an 8-game regular season losing streak dating back to last year. So they lost 9. And then Dalton tied their franchise record with his 10th straight loss. So he tied Carson Palmer.
Okay. So they've gone past 8, but they still reached 8, and now they're past it.
Yep, now they're on 9 going into the next game. Then he's on 10, so he's going to break the record or just stay at the record on 10 going into 11.
Who do the Bengals play next? Do you know?
Ooh, don't know that offhand.
Here, I'll look it up real quick. Because I'm just thinking 11 has the relationship with 66. Cincinnati 66. They play the Rams next at LA. So good chance they do. He sets the record. That would make sense to lose 11 straight as the Cincinnati quarterback for a record. Because again, if you had 1 through 11, it equals 66, and Cincinnati 66.
Okay. All right, that makes sense then. Nice. Then, yeah, that's all I got. Just wanted to mention that. And then I know the Patriots got a winning streak against the Jets or something like that.
Yeah, today would be 8 straight if they won.
8 straight, and then they've got that record against first-year, second-year quarterbacks again.
Oh, yeah, because Darnold fits into that group.
Yeah, I don't know if it's 19 or 20 at this point.
I'm trying to remember what it became last week.
I want to say it's 9. No, actually, I'm not sure.
I'll pull up the notes from last week. I'll look at that.
Okay, cool.
All right,
just wanted to bring that up.
All right, thanks, man. See you.
All right, Zach.
Okay. Here, let me call back this gentleman. He keeps trying to get through. He's always got something good to say.
Hello.
Hey, man. I saw you trying to get through.
Oh, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's up?
Not much. I was looking at the when you go over the hockey, basically about the 6 and the 3. Like basically when they can play, it looks pretty good. So I know Toronto can do the 5 and 4, but they can actually do the 6 and 3.
Yeah.
And I was going to ask you, don't 21 and 6 have a relationship with each other?
If you had 1 through 6 together, it equals 21.
Okay, and the day is the 21st. Yeah, because I was slick like in those the Maple Leafs.
I was sleeping on that. Yeah, so teams going for the 6th win on the 21st. We'll do hockey next. Yeah, that's a good point.
Okay, and Did you? I know the NBA start tomorrow. I was going to say, did you have any early picks? I was thinking the Lakers going. I know Zion, and he's not playing. He's out for the first
6 to 8 weeks. Basketball equals 68. Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think you got early? Because I wanted to kind of I already know the Patriots going to do what they do tonight, Zach. So I was going to try to put some basketball with it, some hockey with it. You know what I mean? So I was going to. Do you there's only 2 games on tomorrow. Did you look at them, or do you already know what you was going to do?
We can do tomorrow's basketball games. I haven't looked at them yet, but I bet you there's some pretty decent riddles here. And since there's just 2 games, it won't take long to look at. So yeah, I'll factor that in today. We can do that.
Okay, I appreciate it, man. I'm gonna send you another tip too, man, because I'm gonna send you a nice tip this time. I really want you to take your sweet lady, man. The best restaurant in Seattle, man.
Hey, I did that. I really appreciate your tip. We don't live in Seattle anymore. We'd have to drive 3 hours to get there, but we got the best Thai restaurant in this little town, and we did go there. So I do appreciate it, man. Thank you very much.
Okay, well, I'll send some back, man. I really appreciate you, man. Keep doing what you're doing.
Okay, don't be too generous though. You've already been, and you're a great caller too. You contribute all the time with your calls, so thank you very much though. I appreciate it.
Right. But if I keep making it, I gotta keep supporting.
All right.
No.
All right, I appreciate that. Glad you're winning, man. Keep it up.
No problem, man.
All right, take care. Okay. Let's finish everything we're talking about, and then we'll do the basketball games as the final piece here. But I heard him say he wants to parlay, so okay. All right, so again, tonight's game. If the Patriots win, it's 8 in a row against the Jets. We haven't seen a streak of 8 beaten this year. And remember, we're seeing a lot of synchronicities between Thursday Night Football, the first game of the week, and Monday Night Football, the closing game. Chiefs began the week by winning 8 straight against the Broncos. Patriots can do the same thing by beating the Jets. Division games, the teams that met in the AFC Championship last year. And again, if the Jets lose, they'll be 5-3 on Monday, or home teams will be 5-3 on Monday Night Football. Patriots 53. Patriots win, they're 7-0 on the 70-date numerology. And one thing that could go in the Jets' favor, the Patriots' next loss to the Jets is number 54. Jets are the only team that sums to 54 with the alphabetic order and reverse alphabetic order. Remember, New York and Jewish Gematria, I think it equals 1485. Whatever number it is, it's the 54th triangular number. So this would be the Jets' riddle to win tonight. And then the other riddle for the Jets to win tonight is for home teams for the week to improve to 6 and 8. And the symbolism of 6 and 8 would be 1968. Again, the year that the Jets had their winning season that ended in the Super Bowl with Joe Namath that they won. 1968. Again, 9/11. September 11, 2001. That whole plan went into motion. 1968. 68, the year the Jets had their winning season. The year World Trade Center construction began. The year 911 was made the national emergency dialing code. The year George W. Bush graduated from Yale Skull and Bones. The year 2001 A Space Odyssey came out. So the 54 and 68 things are the narrative for a Jets upset. And if you want to play that, you're more than welcome to. I mean, there's a possibility, but realize what you're going up against. You're going up against a streak of 8, which we haven't seen beat all year. Now, that said, Tom Brady did have 911 passing yards for the season after the last Jets game. So the only way I see to get a tribute to 9/11 in this game is for the Jets to win and home teams to be 6 and 8 in the week. Possible. Doesn't seem real likely, but it's possible. And you know what? In light of what Rogers called in and said, one other thought about the home team record. Since today is the 21st. Where do I have since today's the 21st, 21 is the 6th triangular number. I guess the Jets could get the 6th home win on Monday Night Football. But again, streak at 8, just so hard to go against. And one other thing that could go against Brady, he's on 213 regular season wins. Monday Night Football does equal 213. If he wins, he'll get his 214th win in the regular season. 214 in numerology is 2 + 1 + 4 is 7. And Brady is 28-7 versus the Jets in the regular season. A little bit tricky. 28, the 7th triangular number, or just straight 7. And Brady did begin his career against the Jets 7-0. His first 7 games against the Jets, he won. When he started, that was. And he could improve to 7-0 this week. Caller?
So on ESPN, they had a couple articles before yesterday's games. One of them was this guy named Ninkovich. He picked the Lions to beat the Vikings. They lost. And then before that, he put out another one. And he laughed at the Jets upsetting the Patriots on Monday Night Football.
Did he pick them to win?
No. He picked the Patriots.
Oh, he laughed at the possibility. I see.
Yeah,
but he put out a bad pick and laughed at that. I see what you're saying.
Yep. And then I believe the Patriots have an 8-game winning streak as well going.
I'm pretty sure this would be the 8th win.
8th win.
Let me double check it. I'm pretty sure, though. I counted it up this morning.
Okay, there's a couple streaks going. Okay, maybe I'm wrong about that one. Got it. Okay, just wanted to point that out there.
Okay. All right. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
You got it.
What am I trying to find here? That's what I wanted to find. Okay, I just watched the NFL Live crew again. This woman's been perfect in all the weeks I've seen her calling Monday Night Football. This week they all went with the Patriots. Normally she goes against the rest of the group and she's right and they're wrong. And so far, every time this guy picks, he's wrong. And he normally gets cocky about his pick, but not tonight. And it seems like it's all part of the show, like, because he's bragging about his pick and how he's the best, and then he's wrong each week. It just seems like it's all part of the sick joke. And notice he is the black guy, too. It almost feels like there's some racial element to it. So, anyway, they all went with the Patriots tonight. And that's the first time I've seen them do that, all be in agreement. So, let me see. What else is there to say? Okay, so 3 things for a Jets upset. Brady stays on 213 wins. Monday Night Football, 213. I guess what I didn't write up here, let me see. Do I have one? This is what I want to do. I see one more thing I could actually add to that list that could go against him. The other thing that could go against Brady tonight is 61 18th prime. Jets does equal 18. He could get his 61st regular season loss and stay on 213 wins because Monday Night Football is 213. Again, the 6 and 8 for home teams thing. Realize though, if the Jets lose, home teams will be 5 and 9, like 59, the 17th prime, 17, the 7th prime. So I mean that would make sense in week 7 too. And ultimately, I do think the best riddle is the streak of 8. That's the only pattern we've documented this year that's been perfect in every single game. So, I mean, it's possible it could be perfect the entire season. The ref tonight, Sean Hockley, son of Ed Hockley, wears the number 85, Brady number. Patriots are 2-0 with him. Jets are 0-2 with him. And yeah, so it's hard to go against the Patriots. They're obviously not a great payout tonight, but I wouldn't say the Jets have zero chance like the caller just pointed out, the guy laughing about the prospect of it. The 54's there, the 68 riddle's there, the 213's riddle's there. So, I mean, honestly, because Patriots aren't a great payout, probably just wait for better games. Because, again, we're about to be super deep in games. We're about to have hockey every day, basketball every day, football each week, college basketball. Again, there's going to be a million games to choose from. But let me double check who these teams play again next week. I think that was one thing I forgot to jot down in the notes. Jets got the Jaguars next week, so if the Jets, let's see, if the Jets lost, they'd be 1-5 facing Jacksonville. Just thinking about that, Jacksonville. Jaguars 2-4. I don't think there's a great clue with that. They got the Dolphins the week after. Caller?
Hey, Zach, how you doing today, buddy?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I just found this thing on Pro Football Reference. They have team game finders now and player game finders. And the Patriots are 12-17 on Monday Night Football away. I'm not sure if we can get anything from that.
17's the 7th prime, so they could stay on 17 losses in week 7. That'd be your 7 connection. Caller?
And then they are, well, yeah, hold on real quick. Versus the Jets, I believe they are 2-2 on Monday Night Football away versus the Jets.
2-2 away.
Yeah, if you just,
Well,
yeah, I believe it's like that. If you just type in Team Finder Pro Football, it will come up and you can find everything.
okay, that would mean the Jets are 2-2 at home then against the Patriots. So whoever loses will be 2-3, like 23, the 9th prime, and Jets is 9. So you can make an argument either way for that one. But Patriots staying on 17 away losses on Monday Night Football in Week 7 has the better number connection. The 7 numbers have hit this week, so.
And I appreciate you. You helped me make over $1,500. I will make sure I donate to you. I appreciate you so much, bro.
Well, congratulations, man. Keep up the good work. And again, if you do send a tip, make sure it's small. I'm happy to hear you guys are winning. That's what I like to hear. So keep up the good work, man.
I appreciate it, buddy. Have a good day.
All right, take care. Yeah, I mean, Patriots are probably going to win this game. Do they cover the 10 points? I don't have there's no good clue on the 10. Like if it was a 55 date numerology or some numerology that connected to 10, be able to make a call on that. Again, when you write out 10, it's 39 like New York, but week 7, yeah, I don't see a good read on Jets is 9. Could they win by 9? I mean, yeah, I don't see a great call for the spread there. The over-under at 42.5. We do have a 43 date numerology, big football number, football 43. Could be a good day for a score of 43 points. Caller?
Hey, Zach, what's going on?
Hey, what's up, man?
Quick question. What correlation do you think it has to being Mo Lewis's birthday today?
Whose birthday?
Mo Lewis?
Tell me who's Mogulus.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mo Lewis. He's the
Oh,
gentleman.
Mo Lewis. Mo Lewis, who sacked Drew Bledsoe. Mo Lewis.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Now that is a trip right there, man. Because so he's part of the 9/11 riddle. Let's run some numbers on Mo Lewis, man. Because that's the narrative for the Jets to bring home teams to 6-8. He spells his name M-O, right? No E on it.
Yeah, it's just M-O.
Mo Lewis. 33 like MNF, 39 like New York, 96, 93. How old does he turn today?
I believe it probably didn't update, so I'm gonna say
He turned 50. He turned 50
50
today. Yeah, he's 50.
I just thought that was interesting. I had to get that to you before you change to another sport real quick because I'm on board with the Patriots also, but I also don't want to miss a big upset. You know what I mean?
I totally hear what you mean. That's why, honestly, tonight, if I was going to bet this game, if I was way up from the week, I might be inclined to take the Jets just for fun to potentially get that payout. But it's so hard to go against the streak at 8. We haven't seen one get beat this year, so.
Yeah, the only thing I've been feeling that is like I do kind of feel like this might be Brady's last exit season, even though he signed a 2-year deal. So I figure the Jets kind of got to get something back off of all these years of being destroyed. It just always made sense to me that something would happen in Brady's last year with the Jets.
Right. And he just had 911 passing yards after he finished his game against the Jets earlier this year. That's why I'm wondering, could they do the 68 thing? That's a big number with 911. I notice Mo Lewis's full name equals 277, which is the 59th prime number. If the Jets lose, home teams will be 5-9 for the week. And his name's 236.
Yeah, I'm going to jump off and let you look at it because I want to hear you, okay?
All right. Yeah, no problem, man.
All
All right, see you. Okay, so since he's getting back on his thing so he can just see it with his own eyes on the screen. Again, here's Mo Lewis's full name. It's also, God, it trips me out, man. His full name's 110, like how tall the World Trade Centers were. Osama bin Laden equals 110, so does Rockefeller. Rockefeller family proposed the World Trade Center project. Whoops. Oh, Morris Lewis. Let's see. Whoops. We got that MNF connection. Caller?
Yeah, the Patriots are on an 8-game winning streak. 2 from last year, 6 from this year.
All right, hold on. I must have counted wrong then. All right, let me verify it. Let me see. All right, appreciate it. Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
All right, let me make sure I can count right. He said 2 from this year. They can't have 2 wins this year. This is the second game against each other. Hold up. Is he already counting tonight's game as a win? All right. 1, that was the first game, September 22nd. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They've won 7 in a row. Last time the Jets won was December 27th. So tonight would be the 8th straight win. And here, we can just measure back to the last time the Jets won in case there's something there with that. December 27th, 2015. Ooh, 199 weeks. That's a Tom Brady number. He was the 199th draft pick. And the last game against the Jets, remember they were starting that rookie who was the 199th pick. He went to Washington State like Bledsoe. Jets covered that last game versus the Patriots, so we thought was the right call on that one. All right, I'll make this note about... let me do this. Patriots have won 7 straight. Caller?
It's 2 from last year, 6 from this year. In a regular season against any team. Doesn't matter.
Okay, I just counted though. They've won 7 straight.
Dating back from last year in the regular season?
The Patriots and Jets play each other twice a year.
No, I'm not saying versus Jets. I'm saying in general in the regular season. And, they won their last 2 last year, and then they won their first 6 this year.
Oh, you're saying the Patriots have won 8 games in a row?
Yes.
I'm talking about their streak against the Jets. Okay, so we're talking about 2 different things.
Sorry, yeah. So we have 7 potentially going to 8, or 8 stopping or going to 9.
Okay, well, there's no real consistent pattern with teams stopping after 8 straight. It's about getting to that 8 straight. So they can win their 8th straight against the Jets.
Yep, that's true.
Right.
But I just wanted to point that out there.
Okay, I see what I got you. All right, appreciate it, man.
Sorry for the confusion.
No, it's all good. Thanks. Okay, so he's saying the Patriots as a team have won 8 straight games going back to last year. They've won 6 straight this year. Here, I'll just pull up the 2018 Patriots schedule. That sounds about right. I remember they lost a good amount of games last year. Why does it do that? Like, hold on. So the Patriots last year, they lost to the Steelers, and they did win their last 2 games, Bills and Jets. So they have won 8 straight as a team. Tonight they could win 9 straight over the Jets. Jets equals 9. So that would actually make a lot of sense for them to win their 9th straight game over the Jets. Caller?
Hey, idiot, I can't tell who you like in your picks for the NHL today.
Well, I think you got the wrong person who's the idiot then. Adios, troll. Patriots can win 9th straight game dating back to 2018 regular season. That's regular season. 9th straight regular season game dating back to 2018 regular season. Jets equals 9. And New England equals 45, 9th triangular number. Okay. And Patriots have won 7 straight versus Jets. Last time Jets won was December 27th, 2015, 199 weeks and 1 day ago. Tom Brady, 199th NFL draft pick. And 199 is the 46th prime, and Tom Brady's 46, so is Michigan, so is Patriots. So, I mean, Patriots have the riddle that hasn't been beat this year. If you do want to take the Jets in an upset, I mean, I'd advise using the points to cover. Of course, the payout wouldn't be as good. If you're just filling that 9-11-68 thing, I mean, and just trying to get the better payout, I wouldn't put very much on it, because I'd say it's unlikely. Again, we haven't seen a streak of 8 get beat this year. And again, from the start of the season, we've been talking about how good these streaks of 8 have been. So, all right, so let's not spend any more time on that. Let's hop into hockey, because it is almost hockey time. So, NHL notes. The Blue Jackets are at the Maple Leafs, and I do need to add something to these notes, because Caller made a good point about how the Maple Leafs could get the 6th win. 21st of month, 6th triangular number. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to point out, the slight narrative for the upset, Mo Lewis was actually honored last week, previous to their game against Dallas. So I kind of did find that if they were going to upset, he might have been honored this week on his birthday as opposed to last week.
Right. It's interesting they turned 50 today, because Brady equals 50. It'd be something if Brady got hurt today. I mean, everybody's getting hurt this year, so...
Yeah, that would be something crazy. They're saying Patrick Mahomes might come back possibly this week. I mean, which is crazy.
Oh, yesterday they said he was going to miss a few weeks, I heard.
Yeah, I heard like 2 to 3, but then like a article came out where a reporter said that it's a stretch for Mahomes to come back this week or whatever, but it's a possibility.
Okay. Huh. All right.
Retarded though, but yeah, I just think that maybe the upset narrative, they would have honored him this week as opposed to last week if it was going to happen. That's just my thoughts, though.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate it. Okay, so the hockey games. First one starts here in a little more than a half hour. Blue Jackets at the Maple Leafs. Blue Jackets are a significant underdog. I think they have a halfway decent riddle to upset here, but Caller did make a good point about the Maple Leafs getting the 6th win on the 21st. 21's the 6th triangular number. Be a good day of the month to get that 6th win. So here's what it is. It's the 30th game between these teams. They have 14 wins apiece plus 1 tie. Toronto scored 32 points in the series. The Blue Jackets have scored 29. If the Blue Jackets won today, they'd get their 31st points in the series on 10-21. 10 plus 21, 31. Again, I'd rather the points sync up with the gematria rather than the date numerology. If the Blue Jackets won, they'd improve to 4-3 in the win and loss column. And Toronto, ON, how they write it, is 43. It's also on the 43rd parallel. We know that number plays with Toronto. I'm not sure if this is the troll or somebody else. Hold on. Caller?
Hey, Pussy, can you be a little bit more...
Yeah, it's the troll. Hold on. Let me block this guy. It's the same guy who posts my address and then calls me a pussy. What a loser. Caller?
What's up, Zach? Look, I was trying to show you what I was talking about with the 6 and the 3 and the 9s, but game Toronto.
Hold on. Go back because you cut out. You were saying the 6-3-9 and then you cut out.
Oh yeah, the 6-3-9. So you notice how it's the 30th game. Basically, I was just trying to show you how it works. You know about the 3-6-9 how it works together, but that's why it's another reason why I like the 6 and the 3 because it's the 30th game.
I hear that. So, yeah, you're seeing the 6s and 3s. Yeah, and Toronto does equal 36, so the reflection of 36 is 63. I definitely hear you.
Right. Okay. I was about to say, because I'll give you an example. Like, if if you look at the Lakers and the Indiana Pacers head to head, they got 90 games played, and then Lakers won 60, and then Indiana won 30. That was the last lock of last season when I knew Indiana would win. But just like that, if they on their 30th game, and then you see 6 and 3s and 9s on the board, 9 times out of 10 that 6 and 3 gonna come together. That's what Vegas and Pittsburgh just did yesterday, Zach. Too. Vegas became 6 and 3, and Pittsburgh was already 6 and 3. It's just knowing that we about to start seeing a lot of these numbers with basketball coming in and all these numbers. The 6 and 3s is like clockwork. It's gonna work together. If it's already on that 3, then in that 6 coming or that 9 coming, 80%, like you're saying, it's probably not 100% locked, but 80% time that 6 and 3 is gonna make that family. It's gonna connect.
Sure, and you were pointing that out all baseball season too. So yeah, you've been riding that one.
Right. And then another thing too. So I know when NBA comes, so is this gonna be like your regular time, Decode? You think an hour and a half? Because games fire up at 7. You think an hour and a half would be enough time for you to get hockey?
No, I'm gonna start. I think from now on I'm gonna make the time noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. I think that's what I'm gonna start doing as the regular time. So.
Okay. I was just making sure. Okay, all right. That's all I wanted to just elaborate on that.
All right. Yeah. All right. Appreciate it, man.
No problem.
All right. See you. Yeah. This is the last day of these late starts. From now on, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. That way we have about 4 hours until game time. But I slept in longer than I've slept in a long time. I also stayed up pretty late last night, but I definitely overslept today. Okay. So I definitely hear what he's saying about the 6, 3, and 9, and he was loving that pattern in baseball. I'll just say that in baseball, remember, Major League equals 63, Major League Baseball equals 63, 63 is 9 in numerology, baseball's the game of 9s. So, anyway, something to think about. Maple Leafs are a big favorite. They're the better team. They probably are going to win this game tonight. I do see a potential upset, though, here for the Blue Jackets. And it's largely because of this. If the Maple Leafs lose, they'll be 5 and 4, and Maple Leafs does equal 54. Again, if they won, they would be 6 and 3. Toronto and 36 is a big number. The reflection is 63. Reflections do matter. Columbus, Ohio equals 54 and 63, so that's hard to say. But if the Blue Jackets won tonight, they would improve to 4 and 3, and 43 plays in Toronto. And if they did win, they'd have a chance in their next game to become 5 and 3 versus the Hurricanes. Carolina and Hurricanes equal 53. That game's back in Columbus. And if they did win their next 2 games, the Blue Jackets, if they beat Maple Leafs on the road and then got the Hurricanes at home, those would be 2 impressive wins. And it would get them to 12 points, where Carolina's 37 in the most pure cipher, the 12th prime. So I wouldn't say that. I think this is the most dangerous game in hockey today, right here. The Blue Jackets upset narratives there, Also, if Toronto loses, they'd be 5-4-1. They have to lose in regulation. If they lose in regulation, they'll be 5-4-1, which is like 541, the 100th prime, and Scotiabank Arena equals 100. So, I mean, there's a narrative there. If Columbus won, they'd be 2-1-1 away. The home and away records aren't as good as the overall records. But if Columbus did win, they would be 2-1-1 away, like 211, the 47th prime. Columbus is 47. Ohio's 47. If Toronto, well, it's hard to see what Toronto, you can make a few different riddles. Caller?
Exactly. I know he moved on to hockey, but they're making a big thing of Mosley coming back for the Jets, their linebacker.
Mosley, okay, I can see how it lines up with his birthday.
Yeah, and then I just read an article in New York Post how the Belichick's 1-5 against the spread in his last 6 games against the Jets as well.
Okay. Yeah.
So, just wanted to point that out, Mosley.
I'll do that. Let me run through the hockey games, and then I'll go back and see how Mosley is, and then we'll do the NBA games tomorrow. All right, thanks, Chris.
Bro.
All right, see you. Okay, so I see a potential upset here. Again, they are a pretty significant underdog. Maple Leafs, one of the top teams in Canada. It is Canadian Election Day. What's Election Day equal? What's Election Day equal anyway? Election Day. Those numbers don't help me with the game. All right, I think that's the most dangerous hockey game in terms of the riddles. Golden Knights at the Flyers. So the line is negative 115. Philadelphia equals 115. The over-unders at 6.5. Philadelphia is 65. This is the 5th game. Again, Vegas is a newer team in NHL. They're 2-2 against each other. They've split. They don't have any overtime losses yet. Flyers are 1-1 at home. If the Golden Knights lose, they'll be 6-4. Golden Knights is 64 in the most pure cipher. Again, it's good to find the points riddles, though. If the Golden Knights lost in overtime, they'd be 6-3-1. 631 is the 115th prime. Kind of like how the line's at negative 115. Again, Philadelphia's 115. If the Golden Knights won, they'd be 7-3. Philadelphia PA is 73. If the Golden Knights lose this game and their next game at the Chicago Blackhawks, they'll be 6-5. Chicago Blackhawks is 65 in the most pure cipher. And let me see. If the Golden Knights lose and go into Chicago, Chicago's 37, the 12th prime. They'd stay on those 12 points to go into Chicago. I'll make that point too. If Golden Knights lose in reg and stay on 12 points, Chicago equals 37, 12th prime. If the Flyers won, they'd be 3-3-1, like 3-3-1, the 67th prime. Hockey 67. If they lost, they'd be 2-4-1, like 241, the 53rd prime. Pennsylvania's 53. The home and away record here, like, was it the Boston game yesterday or maybe it was 2 days ago? The home and away record made sense for both teams if one team won and the other lost. If Vegas loses, they'd be 3-2-0 away. Flyers equals 32. If Philadelphia wins, they'd be 3-1 at home, and Flyers is also 31. So 31-32 would make sense for the home records. Caller?
Hey, how you doing, Zach?
Doing all right, man. How are you?
Hey, man, I messed up, man. Not the bad way, but the way I bet this week, I had to bet more teams I want to because my money was low. But it's okay because I'm gonna get big money pretty soon, and I'm gonna play it the right way. So it's okay. I'm not blaming for nothing, Zach. I did listen to you though. I did listen. Trust me. It's just Seattle, man, messed me up, man.
Yeah, Seattle messed up a lot of people yesterday, but we had a lot more winners than losers. Should have been a positive day.
Yeah, I mean, but the way my money was low, I had to set stuff up from Seattle on the package. But no, you're right, because you look at it, it's okay. But when I get my money out, I'm pretty sure the real money now, I'm going to bet right, bet the smart way. So if you got less money, you can't bet like you want to. If you get more money, sometimes you can bet smarter. You know what I mean? Sometimes you can.
Sure.
I'm okay. I'm with it. I'll be okay though soon though. So anyway, hey Zach, keep a good work up, Zach. You doing great, Zach. You're doing great, man.
All right, we got to get you winning, man. All right, hang in there.
You will.
All right. All right, take care, man.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't like the Vikings, so he probably didn't take that Vikings pick, but man, that Vikings riddle was good. Again, you got to throw out your biases. Anyway, Vegas, if they lose, they got a away record that syncs with the Flyers, and they got an overall record that syncs with their team. So the one thing missing here is a strong points riddle. I wish we had something stronger with the points. And like I said, when we get deeper into this NHL season, there's going to be a lot more games where they can pick up the exact points that sync with the team name. So in light of the caller pointing out that 21 is the 6th triangular number and we're on the 21st of the month, the Golden Knights can stay on 6 wins today. The other argument would be for the Flyers to lose in overtime and to get to 6 points. But I think things look a little bit better for the Flyers here based on the Gematria. The Avalanche and Blues game. So the Blues are, well, here, let's just go over it. It's the 141st game. A lot of teams, if they've had the possibility to match points with the match number all time against the team, they've been doing that this year, whether they stay on it or win to get to it. It didn't happen yesterday in the Washington Capitals game, but in the majority of games it has happened. This is the 141st game. For the Avalanche to get to 141 points, they'd have to lose in overtime. And the Blues have 154 points, so it can't happen for them. The Avalanche could get their 17th points of the season. Blues does equal 59, the 17th prime. That's there. If the Avalanche lost in overtime, they'd have 16 points. We have the 16 date numerology today. So their points would sync with the date numerology with an overtime loss, and they'd get to 141 points in the 141st game with an overtime loss. And the Blues, if they win, they'll get their 11th points of the season. Avalanche equals 31, the 11th prime. And if the Blues do win, they have another game that's pretty easy. The LA Kings, who look mediocre, not very good. If the Blues win, they'd have a shot at their 13th points versus LA. And LA's 13. We've already seen a couple teams do 13 riddles with LA this year. So if they win tonight, it sets up the 13 versus the LA. The devil's advocate narrative, that would be if the Blues lost in overtime today, they'd have 10 points, and then it would give them a chance to get 12 against Los Angeles. Los Angeles is 37, the 12th prime. But with the Kings, it seems that LA is more important than Los Angeles. The Los Angeles riddles have not hit with the Kings so far this year. The LA riddles have, and LA is what they have in their logo. So that's something to be mindful of. They are still the Los Angeles team, but so far where I've drawn up the Los Angeles numbers next to the Kings, those games haven't come through. If the Avalanche lose in regulation, they'll be 3-1-1 away, like 3-11, the 64th prime. Golden Knights equals 64. That's who they play away next. And I have seen a lot of teams, their home and away records syncing up with their next home or away opponent. So if they lose in regulation, their record would be perfect in light of playing the Golden Knights away next. So I think the Blues got a better riddle here. Avalanche do have a chance at those 17th points versus the Blues, which could make sense, but ultimately I think more things line up for the Blues here. And the Senators and Stars, to me this looks like, it's not a great payout, but it looks like a good riddle. The Senators have 16 wins versus the Stars. Today has 16 date numerology, so they can stay on those 16 wins. They would fall to 1-6 if they lost, like 16. The Stars can get their 50th points in the series. Today has 50 date numerology. If Ottawa loses their next 4 games in regulation, they'll be 1-9-1, which is possible. Ottawa Senators equals 191. 191 is the 43rd prime, and if they did lose their next 4 games, they'd become 1-9-1 against San Jose. San Jose equals 43. So they'd be 1-9-1, the 43rd prime against the 43 city. So keep an eye on that with the Senators. It's very possible that happens. If the Stars win today, they'll be 3-7 in the win-loss column. Ottawa's 37. And Ottawa also equals 17, which is the 7th prime, and the Stars can get their 7th points. So they'd also stay on 7 regulation losses against the 17 city, against 17, the 7th prime. Both teams are 0-2-1 in their respective away and home records. Today's October 21st, kind of like 1-2-1. Somebody's obviously going to get it. But to me, it looks like quite a bit more lines up for Dallas there in that game. So that's the way I see it in hockey. To me, the most dangerous riddle is the Blue Jackets at Maple Leafs because, in my opinion, the Blue Jackets have quite a bit for an upset lining up, but the Maple Leafs have enough there to believe in them as well. So, all right, so that's hockey. Whoops. And all these notes are posted on the Patreon wall. So those are the hockey notes. We went over football. I'm going to save World Series Game 1. We'll talk about that in a minute. But I'm going to do tomorrow's NBA games real quick. Just because it's almost a game time. And I know one of our callers was thinking about parlaying today's games with tomorrow's NBA games if we see something good. So, Pelicans at Raptors. Remember, this is the 74th NBA season. Zion Williamson equals 74. I can't believe the NBA is doing this. I guarantee his injury's fake. But Toronto, Ontario's 74 too. So, I mean, NBA, really, pro sports love to mess with fans. And again, look at the home and away records for the NFL season. Away teams have a lot better record in the NFL. That theory about loving to shit on the home crowd. Caller?
Hey, Zach. So, Today has 43 date numerology, and the Blues have 43 wins at home all time versus the Colorado Avalanche.
They do, including the postseason. But if you look at the regular season, they have 41 wins at home.
Oh, Ford. Oh, okay. Oh, that makes sense.
I have that in the notes, but you're right. They are on 43 all time. I don't like to mix the postseason wins with the regular season wins. It seems to burn me every time. So
that makes sense. Okay, so can't mention that they won 4 in a row against Colorado then.
wait, say that again.
They won 4 in a row, but that's including the playoffs. They swept them last year.
Oh, right. Okay, I hear that. Yeah.
All right, brother.
All right. Yeah. Thanks, man.
You got it.
See it. Yeah, that is in the notes though about how they have the 43 all-time wins on the 43 date. All right, hold on. I guess I'll put together a post for this real quick so I can post it. All right. The Battle of LA. If you guys haven't seen my video from July 2017, so 2 years ago now. No, hold on. July 2018, excuse me. A year and a couple months ago. After LeBron signed with the Lakers, I said I said the numbers didn't look like he was going to have that great of a season, but I said wait for this season right here. I said I expect LeBron to do things this year. He's going to turn 35 years old. King James equals 35. He'll turn 35 December 30th this year, so he's not quite 35. But Lakers equals 66. LeBron 66. LeBron James is 66. If LeBron three-peated with the Lakers, he could get to 6-6 in NBA Finals. So I liked the Lakers a lot this year, even before they had Anthony Davis. And I'm expecting them to do things this year. So I told people to put a future in for this year in July of 2018. Back before they had 3-1 odds, because now they have these not good odds to win it. But the King James numbers are there. King James riddles with LeBron, just always. Let me cheat real quick here and get the date numerology from this, so I don't have to type it all in again. Okie dokie. It always does that. All right, so 71 20th prime. Is Toronto Raptors 71? Yeah, Toronto Raptors is 71. Remember that from last year. Okay, so we got Toronto Raptors. Where's my NBA cheat sheet? I know I just made one. It's not pulling it up, but I know I got it. Hold on, let me get this NBA cheat sheet so I don't have to keep doing all this gematria. And again, I still got to get these updated more, but it does have the primary things that you need. The city, team names. Okay. All right, so Toronto Raptors. And actually, before we even start looking at this, let's look at the head-to-head record. Raptors head-to-head record. Or no, I got to do it this way. Raptors, Pelicans head-to-head record. All right, so this is going to be the 38th game. All right, 38th game. And is 38 syncing with anything? No. Raptors lead 23-14. Canada's 24, like how last year was their 24th season. This year will be their 25th season. Raptors lead 23-14. Canada's 24. let me see. These teams have never met in the finals, so we can get there. This will be easy, or the playoffs, I mean. These teams, hold up. All right. They're 10-8 at home. And what is it again about 1-1-8 with Toronto? We figured out something last year with Toronto and 1-1-8. I'm trying to remember what that was. All right. Pelicans are 10-8. Or not, whoops. Raptors. Raptors are 10-8 at home versus Pelicans. Let me see how many days it is from the... they won the NBA Finals June 13th. We the North equals 136. So let's just see how it lines up from the championship date. It's 131 days later. Championship number. Okay. This game is 131 days after Raptors winning NBA Finals. All right, championship 131. Could be a clue for the score. All right, let me... Scotiabank Arena 134, 53, 271, 58th prime 100. Toronto ON. Alright. So that would be the only narrative that I really see for the Pelicans. Or never mind. Doesn't even fit in. There was something with 118 last year. Big number with the Bay Area who they beat. I think the Raptors probably pick up the 24th win, just symbolic, like how they won the championship in their 24th season. So I think that's the symbolism of it. 131 days after the championship in their 24th season, they gave them an opponent that they can get the 24th win against to start the year. But I don't see any real great clue in terms of the date numerology and their head-to-head record. So, hold on, I forgot to look at the Pelicans more carefully. I guess we can look at the coaches real quick. It's Doc Rivers, isn't it? Oh no, Alvin Gentry, that's right. Doc Rivers is still with the Clippers. Alvin Gentry. Let's see. Make sure I'm not missing anything with his win and loss record. He's 145 and 183 with New Orleans. Yeah, I think they lined this up so that the Raptors can get their 24th win all time against an opponent, just because, again, that was the big number last year, winning the NBA Finals in their 24th season. So, well, let's see what's up with the Lakers and Clippers. Nobody's really home here, right? Battle of the Staples Center. So, I imagine even though the Lakers aren't really the home team, they're they got more fans. All right, hold on. Caller, what's up?
Hey, Zach.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, Jonathan, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
Pretty good, man. I know you're in the middle of something. I don't want to take you off your train of thought. I just had to vent about the Bengals right quick. Oh man, Man, you did a great job, man, on the 1 p.m. games. And I had all the games, man. I had them all, except for the Bengals. I gave them the point. They still couldn't even cover. I gave them 4.5 points, right? They still couldn't even cover, man. If I would have hit that, I would have turned 50 into almost 500. But I got all the other games right, man.
Yeah, it sucks to come up one game
Dude,
short, man.
and I'm in Cincinnati right now. That's the crazy thing about it. I've been in Cincinnati for the last 3 weeks. So I was feeling it, because I'm here in the city.
Right.
So I was feeling it. I'm like, all the other games went by perfectly. The Green Bay game, the Bills game, what was the other game? The Vikings game. There's another game, but everything was good except for the Bengals. You can never count. They're just like the Dolphins. But it's weird because it's like, okay, if Ohio was the birthplace of football, if they just punked the Browns, they just punked the Bengals. At least with the Dolphins, at least they gave them 2 Super Bowls back in the 70s. They gave them an undefeated season. You would think that they would have more respect for these Ohio teams since this is the birthplace of football. What, you feel me?
I do hear you, man. And had the Bengals won, they would have hit 2 Ohio numbers, 16 and 47. So I thought that they'd get that respect too, but yeah.
I was riding too. I was riding with the 47 because Ohio equals 47.
Right.
Dude, hey, I was doing some research. I'll call you too. I'll call you Wednesday for the show too.
All right.
But I was doing some research, and it's like 10 different rappers with the number 88 in them. And then you know what 88 means? 88 equals programming. And so it's a new rapper from Miami named 88.
Rapper.
88
Rapper equals 88 too. Just the word rapper is 88.
Oh wow, yeah. So 88 Rising. There's 88 Keys. There's like all these 88, and they put the numbers right in front of you. And you're right, Zach. Sports is the best way to show people. Sports is the best way to show people how Gematria works. But I'm gonna tell you something else though. Another thing you can't sleep on is weather. To me, like the weather warfare, that to me is like my second favorite subject besides the sports, because it's like I just recommend anybody to read Letters and Numbers and just go and read the weather warfare chapter. Because that is just one of the realest. The way you put that chapter together, it's really good. It's like you can really see how they manipulate the weather as well.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Indeed.
Like, I don't mean to go all over the bar with you, man, but I just wanted to talk right quick. I couldn't believe that, man, with the Bengals, man. They just blew. Andy Dalton, oh man, he doesn't have much help either. But and then these people, it's so funny because people, they really get emotional about these games, right? So this dude, he got all mad about the Bengals, and I'm like, dude, you should be used to the Bengals losing. Why are you getting mad? Don't you know all these games are scripted? I went down the line with them, but it's like, it was just funny how people, after all these years in Cincinnati, they still believe in the Bengals, and they haven't done shit in the last 30 years.
I know, man. It's like setting yourself up for failure, man. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll get back with you Wednesday, all right?
All right, man. Take care. Be safe out there.
All
right, see you.
Peace.
Okay, so what I got to say about this first matchup of the Lakers and Clippers, we got to look at when these teams play each other next, because 2 things stand out here. The Lakers' first win is 149, right? The Lakers' next win against the Clippers is 149. That's the 35th prime number. King James equals 35 on the most pure cipher. Okay, so we got to look at the Lakers and Clippers schedule. And then the next loss is 73. And I'm just thinking how big that number is with the Dodgers. Got the Magic Johnson type thing. It's the reflection of 37 Los Angeles number. All right, we gotta find out when the Lakers and Clippers play each other again. Lakers 2019-20 schedule. I gotta know when both Clippers games are. Because if one's on a 35 date numerology, and hold up, we don't have a 35 date numerology, do we? Yeah, we don't. All right, hold up. Clippers. All right, that's tomorrow. Then they play each other December 25th. They play each other on Christmas Day. So LeBron's going to be 35 years old for this game. No. I'm tripping, actually. Never mind. That's 5 days before his 35th birthday. His birthday is December 30th. He's got the same birthday as Tiger Woods. So he'll still be 34. His first game at age 35 will be January 28th. All right, so hold up. This date has 22 numerology, and it has 49 numerology. Staples Center is 49, and it has 76 numerology. 22 basketball, 49 Staples Center, 76. I don't think that connects to either team, but let me check. LA Clippers. Lakers. Let me run the Staples Center Gematria real quick. Staples Center. Okay. I wonder if he has to wait until he's 35 to get that win. Let's see how this game syncs up with LeBron's birthday. December 30th, 2019. 69 days from his birthday. And that next game was December 25th. Season begins 42 weeks and 2 days after his birthday. It's 297. Not prime. All right. So 221st game. Lakers won the last one. 122 points. Now they meet again on October 22nd. Let's measure how many days it was from the last game. $200 days from the last game. There were 239 points scored in that game. 52nd prime. Hold up. Gotta get used to my basketball numbers. Okay. Let me see LeBron's splits against the Clippers. I can't decide if it matters that LeBron, if he needs to be 35 to get that 149th win, or if it's just about the season where he turns to 35, because that's a big number with LeBron's career. Let me see. All right, LeBron versus the Lakers. Or Clippers, I mean. Hold up. He has 21 wins, so he could pick up his 22nd win on the 22nd of the month. Basketball's 22. And he has 9 losses. He's 21-9 versus the Clippers. All right. All right, that's a big number right there, 22. It's going to be the 221st game. Lakers lead 148-72. Look at the coaches. Hold on, before I even go any further with this game, I forgot to look at the Raptors head coach's record. I forget what his name is. Caller?
Okay, Zach. Yeah, now the juicy stats coming out because I was wondering like the only 2 games on the Wednesday, so I knew the date was going to have something to do with it. So you said LeBron is what was you said he's 9-22.
He's 21-9 versus the Clippers, so he could get his 22nd win on the 22nd of the month. Basketball's 22.
Okay, that's what I was calling in for because I thought it was 22. Well, I was thinking he can do the prime relationship, the 23-9. But if he win his first 2 games against the Clippers, he can do the prime relationship.
Oh, right. That's true. Yeah, if he won his first 2, yep, that's true.
Okay, yep. And then you just said it was the 221st meeting. That's like the opposite of the date, kind of like.
It is, and the last game the Lakers won with I just had it up there. The last game the Lakers won with 122 points, kind of like the date too, 1-2-2.
Boy, I swear, boy. Yes, sir. That's all I got to hear, Zach. I'll let you get back to it.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
All right, see you. That game was April 5th, 95th day of the year. That was a date with 48 numerology. James is 48. If the Lakers begin this season by winning this game, I'd say that's a real good sign that I'm right about the Lakers being the finals team this year. It doesn't have. If they lost, I wouldn't say that means they're out. But I mean, just getting that 149, the 35th prime, King James 35. He's going to turn 35 this year during the season. I'd say that's real symbolic right there. Battle of LA. All right, hold on. I was going to look up the. I meant to look up the coach for the Raptors and get his stats to see if anything lined up for that first game. I forgot to do that. Whoops. Nick Nurse. He's 58-24. He can stay on those 24 losses. And doesn't look like there's really anything that lines up super well. He has 74 total wins if you count the postseason. It's the first game of the 74th NBA season. His next total loss would be 33. Or actually, I think Pelican, the singular, is 33. Yeah, but they're the Pelicans. But 137, 33rd prime. Again, it's not good to mix regular season and postseason. Again, yeah, in this game, I think the symbolic number is the Pelicans getting that 24th win. Canada 24. They won the finals in the 24th season. The first game's 131 days after they won the championship. Championship 131. I got to think that's the symbolism they're going for in that game. Again, you got 71 date numerology. Toronto Raptors 71. All right, so Lakers, Clippers. Let's get the coaches. I even forget who the coach of the Lakers is now. Color?
Hey, Zach, real quick on football, I think I found something really good. You said that home teams in Monday Night Football 5-2, am I right?
That's right.
Okay, so next week we've got Pittsburgh and Miami. Pittsburgh's the home team. Heinz is 62. Heinz Field is also 62 everywhere.
Okay, I hear what you're saying. So you're thinking maybe the Jets got a chance to make it 6-2 going into the Heinz Field game?
Yes.
All right. I'm just thinking about the flip side of that. Because I was just looking at immediately at tonight's game. If the Jets lose, they'll be 5-3, and Patriots is 53. But yeah, there are a few things there, man. If you want to take a stab at the Jets, definitely don't bet the house. But they got some things that could happen. So
definitely not. I think maybe a parlay with the Knights or even the Flyers, because I know it's off topic, but the Flyers opened up plus 110 in this game. Now they're minus 115.
Yeah.
and over 70% is on the Golden Knights. I think this is one of them games. It seems like it can go both ways, so it might be go the opposite of where the money's on.
Well, I thought the notes looked pretty good for the Flyers personally. So.
Yeah. Okay, I just wanted to point that out with 62 there, buddy.
All right. Take care, man.
All right.
See you. Okay, that's an interesting thought. I'd love to see the Jets win. I'd love to see Tom Brady's career end tonight. That's what I think every time the Patriots take the field. Let this be the last game, but haven't got my wish so far. Anyway, okay, so LeBron going for 149. Okay, we got to get some coach information here. I know it's not Walton anymore. Caller?
Hey, Zach, I just wanted to point out, Patriots head coach Bill Belichick, he can get his 300th win next week if he wins this game next week against Cleveland Browns, and we all know the significance Cleveland has to Bill Belichick's career.
Wait, say it again?
Bill Belichick, he has 298 all-time wins.
Okay.
So if he wins this week, he'll have a chance to get the 300th against Cleveland.
Okay.
Which was the team that gave him his first head coaching position.
And that's a symbolic number indeed, 300. I wonder how many coaches have made it to that. Do you know?
Yeah, this is for the coaches.
So he'd be the
Don
third.
Shula.
He'd be the third to get to 300 in Cleveland 33. Yeah.
Exactly. And one other thing that I thought was funny too is Bill Belichick's only playoff win as the Cleveland head coach is against New England.
What a joke, man. Perfect.
Yeah, so I mean that 300. I would love an upset today too, but that 300 just looks like it's right there in our face. So.
And the Patriots going for 8 straight against the Jets. I mean, the 8s haven't failed yet, so. Yeah.
All right, just want to get that to you.
Yeah, all right. See you, man. Yeah, if you want to take the Jets tonight, I mean, I'd encourage you to take those points because streaks of 8 haven't been beat yet this year. Doesn't mean it couldn't happen tonight, but we haven't seen it yet. All right. I was trying to get the. Has this Frank Vogel coached before? Is he a new coach? Oh, he's coached before. Yeah. This is about the same time I stopped paying attention to the NBA just fully. That I'll never forget the Western Conference Finals, Blazers-Lakers. I was already convinced basketball was fixed, but after that I was like, okay, I'm done, man. Blazers just gave up in Game 7. It's like, oh, okay, you just work hard all season, huh? And then you don't want to go to the NBA Finals. You don't want to finish off the fourth quarter. Caller?
Hey, what up, Zach?
Hey, man.
Hey, just now getting to the stream. I'm just now getting off work, so we like Patriots tonight?
Well, they're going for that streak of 8 against the Jets. We haven't seen a streak of 8 fail. They're 3 for 3 so far this week. They'd be 4 for 4 if the Patriots won. So.
Yeah. Okay. And what's your favorite NHL game that I can put with that?
I bet you if you look at those notes. Did you look at the notes?
Yeah. I looked them over briefly.
Well, there's one where just like everything lines up for one game. I mean, it should be stand out to you. I think the most dangerous. I think all the games, if you look at the notes, there's a pretty good read for one team in all, but except for the first game, which already just started, Toronto and Columbus. I think that's the tightest game of the night, but all the other ones look pretty good. So yeah, just scan those notes.
It looked good for the Flyers, right?
That looked good to me. That was one of the games I like. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
All right, cool. Yeah,
Right.
I'll put that in. Yeah, man. Good day yesterday too. I mean, the one game that hurt me was the Seahawks.
Yeah.
You know, that game, I had a 5-team parlay in every single thing except for that one game, man. I was so upset about that.
Trust me, man. My phone's full of about 1,000 texts about the Seahawks game, so I know.
Hey, no. You just keep calling the games, man. You're doing great. I mean, if we could miss, one game out of all the games, we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, I know that Seahawks game killed a lot of people though. So.
Yeah. Hey, it is what it is. All right, man. I'll let you go.
All right. See ya. My daddy's like, I don't know about the Seahawks this week. I got a feeling the Ravens are going to get them. My dad's usually wrong, though, but he was right about that. Anyway. I'm just looking at this Vogel guy's numbers. So what I see about Vogel is he can get his 305th win all time. That kind of looks like 35, huh? Kind of looks like 35. Let me see. I wonder why. I guess it's because LA Clippers is how they're identified in the standings. That's why I did it that way. I'll make this note. If Lakers win, Vogel will get his 305th win all time. It's not 35, but it's similar. Okay. And Doc Rivers, let's see. Doc Rivers' birthday. So this game will be 9 days after Doc Rivers' birthday. I guess I could have measured that for Vogel too. His birthday is June 21st. I'm going to have to check Kawhi Leonard too. It's 123 days after Vogel's birthday. All right, but Doc Rivers... He's on 307 wins. Los Angeles is 37 if he stayed on it. 63rd prime. He's on 185 losses with the Clippers. Basketball's 185. Guess that was to end that season. So, yeah, my one thought is, does LeBron have to wait until he's 35 years old to get his 149th win against the Clippers? But we did see that LeBron could pick up his 22nd win versus the Clippers on the 22nd of the month. Basketball's 22. Be a symbolic win to start the season. I'm thinking that LeBron's going to get a lot of love this year after last season with the humiliation rituals, missing the playoffs for the second time in his career, the fake injury by the numbers. And remember how the fake injury happened? It happened the day after the story broke about him. I forget what rapper it was, maybe 21 Savage or something. But he put out some lyrics about getting that Jewish money, and then he got shamed in the media, and he had to apologize, and then he was hurt. So, anyway, let's look at Kawhi Leonard splits real quick to see what he's done against the Lakers. What's his birthday? June 29th. The game's 115 days after his birthday, or his 116th day of his age. Does Clippers equal 116? No, it's 118. That's right. Los Angeles on the 118th meridian. All right, Kawhi Leonard, let's see what he's... For anyone who wants to look up these numbers on their own, the way you find a player's record against a team, the way you do it is you come down here to where it's... First of all, you go to Basketball Reference, you put in the player, and then you come down to where it says More, and then you go to this Game Finder. And then in the Game Finder, you can sort all sorts of stuff. I normally stick to looking at the regular season. And so for his opponent, Los Angeles Lakers. And then if you sort by wins and losses... He has 16 wins. Los Angeles is 53, the 16th prime. NBA 17. He has 16 wins and 4 losses. All right. Kawhi Leonard is 16 and 4. Now, I know that tomorrow has 17 date numerology. NBA 17. But Los Angeles is 53, the 16th prime. So Kawhi's argument would be to pick up his 17th win on the 17th, or on the 17 date numerology. LeBron's riddles to pick up number 22 on the 22nd of the month. So, again, the last time they played, the Lakers did win. They won with 122 points. Kind of like how today's 10/22, or the game's on 10/22, 1022, and it's the 221st game. The Bavarian Illuminati equals 221. And just trying to think if that would sync with any of these numbers we're looking at. Their number's 13, but we got the Battle of LA. So, Lakers are a 2.5 point favorite. You got two teams with new players, so. If Raptors won, I suspect they'll win for the Canada tribute. And Lakers won, you'd have home teams splitting on the opening night. And let me see. 2018 NBA season schedule. I just want to see what home and away teams did the last few years, if they split like that. Let's see. April. Season began. That's right. The season began last year on October 16th. The day leaving 76 days left in the year. 76ers played and Warriors. So last season, both home teams won last year. And I thought because the Celtics won with the 105 and the Warriors won with 108, 213 combined points, the NBA Finals 2-1-3, I thought that was a sign that these teams might meet. And then when the, what's his name? Havlicek died for the Celtics, I thought that was a sign that I was going to be right about the Warriors and Celtics NBA Finals. He died by the numbers last year. But ended up being that Toronto Raptors, Drake, what was his album called? Scorpion Riddle? Warriors win with a 108, 121, and 122 all the time. Oracle equals 108. Warriors equals 121. Golden State equals 122. And remember what just happened. You had the death of the Oracle CEO by the numbers. And the Warriors used to play in Oracle Arena. He died on the day leaving 74 days left in the year. It's the 74th NBA season. Oakland, California, 74. The Warriors might be better than teams expect this year. People have kind of faded the Warriors because they lost Durant, but we'll see. Okay, so last year both home teams won. Let me see. What about the year before? Was it October? I'm not sure. 2017 NBA season. It began October 25th. Yeah, that was the thing, too. They started the season a little bit earlier last year, and I was like, okay, so they're paying tribute to 76, 76ers, Philadelphia originally from 76. 73rd NBA season, Steph Curry born on the 73rd day. All right, let's see. Whoops. You had 4 games on the opening night. No. More than that. No, this was not the opening night. What in the... I remember there weren't that many games. 2017 NBA season. Let me check that again. Oh, wait. This is 2016. That's why. Why didn't it give me that? 2017-18 NBA season. I know the Warriors and Rockets played each other, and I think the final score was 122-101. There it is. October 17th. 2018. Wait, what? Oh, whoops, I did the wrong year again. Hold up. Yep, Rockets beat the Warriors 122-101. Again, Golden State's 122, Warriors 121. I remember that game. Hit it right at the basket. And the finals ended up being Cavs and Warriors one more time. 102. All right, so that year, home and away teams split. I just want to see if there's any type of historical pattern. So far, last 2 years, no. Let's see. All right, October 25th, 2016, NBA box scores. 3 games that night. Cavs won at home, Blazers won at home, Warriors lost at home. So the Warriors lost at home. I've lost track. It was 2016 the year the Cavs. It was the 2015-26 season where the Cavs beat the Warriors. This season, the Warriors ended up beating the Cavs 4-1. And then the year after that, they swept them. And the year before that, LeBron won on the real King James's birthday. So I noticed the year that the Warriors lost both games on opening night, they won the NBA Finals. And then last year they won on opening night and lost in the finals. So there might be a pattern to observe with that. So opening night, teams have been in the finals that have played on opening night. And out of the 4 teams that are playing, the one that I suspect will be in the finals is the Lakers. So remember, if the Lakers lose tonight, that could actually be a good sign. Or not tonight, but tomorrow night. If the Lakers lose tomorrow night, that could actually be a sign for them to win the finals, possibly, based on what we're observing here about recent years. Let me see. 2015-16 NBA season. This was the year the Cavs won it over the Warriors. All right, that was October 27th, 2015. Whoops. Cavs lost on opening night, and then they went on to win the NBA Finals that year. So that we might actually be onto something here. Team loses on the opening night, and then they go on to win the championship. Warriors won, they went on to lose. And I remember pointing this out at the time because I was certain that the Cavs would play the Warriors again and would beat them in that NBA Finals, and it was all about King James. But the NBA Finals equals 111. Huh. So NBA champions losing on opening night is a pattern. All right, let's see what happened the year before. This season, the Warriors beat the Cavs for the first time. This was the first of their 4 meetings. They didn't have them play on the opening night, though, that year. Okay, but it does look like most years there was a split. At least one away team losing. All right, well, that's something to remember. If the Lakers lose, I kind of want to see them lose because I think they are going to win the finals. If they lose and there's some sort of NBA final score in this game, that could be actually a real good sign for the Lakers. If they win, if the Lakers win, I'd still like them to go to the finals. If LeBron went to the finals and lost this year, he'd become 3-7. Los Angeles is 37. That's possible. It's possible. He's 3-6 in finals right now. But again, if he wins 3 straight, he'll be 6-6. LeBron's 66. Lakers is 66. LeBron James is 66. When he came over to the Lakers, it was a big 66 ritual. So I think the Raptors win to get that Canada symbolism synced up with their championship. Lakers and Clippers is a little bit tougher to call in my opinion, but if that last winning score of the Lakers was a clue, that would play favorably for them. Again, they won with 122 points, kind of like the date 10/22 in the 221st game. LeBron would get that 22nd win versus the Clippers on the 22 date. Kawhi, though, is going for his 17th win versus the Lakers on 17 date numerology, and NBA does equal 17. So if he doesn't win, he stays on 16 in the Battle of Los Angeles. Los Angeles 53, the 16th prime. What jersey number is Kawhi wearing this year? Number 2, huh? And did LeBron didn't switch his jersey, did he? No. Doesn't look like it. All right. So 71 date numerology, Toronto Raptors is 71. 44 date numerology, Clippers is 44. And the NBA is 17. I'll think more about these games between now and tomorrow. Maybe something will come to light that I'm not thinking of right now. That over-under at 226.5, I wouldn't be surprised if you got 227 points. Pi, but 227 is the 49th prime and Staples Center's 49. That could make some sense. So, you can see that. Color?
Yeah, Zach, this is my last note on the football game. Bill Belichick and the Patriots, they like to hand out the 5 and 11 all the time. Bill Belichick's last year coaching Cleveland, a 5 and 11 record. His first year coaching New England, they had a 5 and 11 record. His second year coaching New England, they had an 11 and 5 record. And right now, Sam Darnold is 5 and 10 as a starting quarterback.
Huh? So he can become 5 and 11, huh?
Yep.
Okay. Good
I
option.
tell you, it's all over the place.
So
It's fall of Belichick.
well, what that 511 equals Saturn in Jewish gematria, and then Monday Night Football equals 93 like Saturn too. So it could be like a Saturn time ritual if that 511 hits.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see that. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right. Yeah. Good observation.
All right.
All right. See you, man. Okay. NBA notes, October 22nd, 2019. I'll post those. So, only thing left to talk about is the World Series tomorrow. And again, everyone's thinking it's all about the Astros. You got Garrett Cole on the mound. He's going for his 20th straight win. Astros is 20. Very well could happen. Let me just show you what I'm looking at here. The Astros are 244 and 207 versus the Nationals all time. They're 129 and 97 at home and 115 and 110 away. I'm wondering if the Astros might not win any games in Washington and maybe stay on those 115 wins. And if they only won one game at home, they'd have 130 wins. Washington's 130. If they won 2, they'd get to 131. When you write out 57, it equals 131, like World Series is 57. But I'm imagining, what if the Nationals beat the Astros 4-1 in the World Series with all the Skull and Bones rituals? Skull and Bones 41. It's possible. I'm going to do some more thinking about this. But I think the Astros will probably win at least one game at home. Should get that 130th because Washington's 130. And we saw the Nationals hand the Dodgers their 130th postseason loss to eliminate them. The Nationals are 101 and 71 for the entire season. Remember, they're 8-2 in the postseason. Washington Nationals is 82. Hold on, we got a call here. Caller?
Hey, what up, Zach?
Hey, what's up, Izzy?
Hey, for the World Series, this is actually kind of two national teams actually are playing because the Houston Astros used to play for the Nationals.
Right. National League. Right.
So that's something we look into. Also, the narrative right now for the Jets is like the whole team is kind of backed up. The offensive line is hurt, so that's the kind of narrative going. And one last thing, it just amazes me how one of the top teams, the 49ers, they go over there to Washington, and a bad team, and the team that's bad does not score no points, but still manage to cover the spread of 9.5 points.
Hey, and that's what we thought. We thought take that spread. It seemed right. So yeah, weird game.
You were leaning on the.
Well, I thought the smart move was
points.
yeah. I thought the smart move was to take the points. So I saw a funny game.
Last thing, we can do good with the NFL and all the sports, but like you said, we got to listen to you. You said stick to 2 or 3 team parlays, and we're good. And,
right.
I did pretty good, so thank you, Zach.
Good job, Izzy, man. Glad to hear you won.
All right. That's it.
All right. See you, man.
Bye.
Yeah, because you take those bigger parlays. I mean, you hit it's a nice payday, but how often do we hear people saying like, "Man, I bet $25 or I bet $50 and I came up one game short. It would have been $1,000, $2,000, $5,000." There was a caller earlier this year who said he came up one game short on a $20,000 payout, and he didn't bet that much, but he had a whole ton of games on there. I mean, sucks to come that close, but you put a lot of games on there, you run a big risk. Caller?
Just got a thought real quick. They're always comparing LeBron James to MJ. I don't remember the year that MJ three-peated. And I'm just trying to think who he beat.
He beat the Blazers, the Suns, and Utah.
Utah, huh?
Yeah.
I'm thinking perhaps, I don't know how the Suns are going to fit in, but maybe 2 out of those 3 LeBron James beats in the Western Conference Finals. Utah looks very intriguing this year. Their coach just signed an extension, and they made a...
It would probably be the Blazers again if it was going to be one of those 3 teams based on how these teams are this year.
Yeah? Did you take a look at Utah?
Dude, Oregon, the only state that sums to 74th NBA season.
That's so true. Oh, yes, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true. Got it, yeah. Oh, man, there was one more thing. I don't remember. Don't want to waste time. Sorry, man.
But no, it is a good thought. I mean, it could be history repeating itself. But I think the player to compare LeBron to is Magic Johnson more than MJ. But, yeah, I see where you're going with the MJ comparison.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
All right. Yeah, appreciate it, man. All right.
One more thing. There we go. One more thing. The prop bets for the Nationals winning the World Series, I think 4-1 or 4-3 looks pretty good.
Dude, I think the Nationals are going to win it. I'm going to give people 2 reasons why I think the Nationals are going to win the World Series.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's in 5 or 7, but I want to hear what you're going to say.
Well, I'd agree with that too. It's either going to be 4-1 or 4-3. I would say the exact same thing. So.
Cool.
All right.
Good stuff.
All right. See you, man. Okay, there's 2 reasons I think the Nationals are going to win the World Series, and let me go over them, and at the end I'll review the 2 reasons. But first of all, the Nationals right now are 8-2 in the postseason. If they won, they'd be 9-2. Astros is 92. I don't know about upsetting that Garrett Cole streak though. Caller?
Hey Zach, I just realized the 5-11 also could be paying respect to tomorrow. The World Series starts, the 115th World Series.
That's true. Yeah. That could make sense.
That's it.
All right, thanks, man. So if the Nationals won tomorrow, they would be 9-2 in the postseason. Astros does equal 92. But if the Nationals win the World Series, they're going to get to 105 wins. And remember, Nationals equals 105. Steve Scalise's full name equals 105. We identified how the Steve Scalise shooting story was synced up with the World Series. He's the Washington, D.C., Congress member. You just had a death of an umpire yesterday. Did you guys know this? Did you know that an umpire dropped dead yesterday who just officiated the MLB postseason with the Twins and Yankees? This man died yesterday, Eric Cooper, unexpectedly. He died October 20th, the day leaving 72 days left in the year. Cooper, 72, like Major League Baseball. It was the 293rd day of the year, which is the 62nd prime number. Sacrifice is 62. Eric Cooper, 62. He's from Iowa. The coach of the Astros is from Iowa, A.J. Hinch. Houston, Texas is 62. But look at this. The umpire's full name, Eric Richard Cooper, 105 like Nationals. Umpire, 82 like Washington Nationals, like how they're 8-2 in the postseason right now. Eric Cooper, 107 like Washington Nationals, 107, like Ritual Sacrifice, 107. He died on his 307th day of his age, the 63rd prime, like Major League Baseball. And he died at age 52. I was trying to think about how 52 might fit into this World Series. The word death itself has a connection to 52. But he became an umpire in 99, so this was his 21st season, but 99 was also 20 years ago, and he died on the 20th of the month, like Astros is 20. Death's also 20. But his name and his position really connects to the Nationals, and again, just the fact that the Nationals can get to 105 wins. So, the last thing he officiated was the Twins-Yankees series. He didn't do the Nationals or the Astros games. But he did an American League series. And American League's 115, like the year of the 115th World Series. Caller?
What's up, Zach? This is Rod. This is my other phone number.
But, gotcha.
Hey, I noticed Nationals, they on a 6-game win streak, so they can win 7 straight, and they possibly can go to 8 straight. We know about these streaks of 8.
Sure. Yeah, take the first 2 games in Houston. That'd be something else if they did that.
Yeah, and also they put up 7 runs in the first inning and didn't score no more. So that could be an indicator that they are going to win 7 straight games.
That's a good point. That's very true. Yeah. Okay. So there is a narrative for them to win. If they win, they'll be 9-2 in the postseason. Astros 92, and if the Astros lost, they'd fall to 7-5 in the postseason. Houston Astros is 75. So through that, there's a possibility. I'm just having trouble going against Cole going for 20 straight. So that's my hang up, but it's possible.
It is 2019, you know.
It is, but Astros is 20. So, yeah, you can make an argument either way. Let me finish. Watch me finish doing this, because there's one thing here that looks good for the Astros, too, that I'm about to get to.
Okay. Right. What I was going to say, if you can look up, how many years have it been since the National League won the last team, the Cubs, right?
Cubs won the 112th World Series. Astros won the 113th. Last year, so the 112th World Series was the last time the Cubs or the National League won.
National League, so 3 years ago. Okay, all right, appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Yep. All right, see you. Okay, so the immediate postseason records for this season make it look great for the Nationals. For the reason we just said. But hold on. Okay, the Nationals are 20-19 in the postseason all time. So if they lost, they'd be 20-20, right? And they're facing the Astros. Astros is 20. You have this 71 date numerology. 71's the 20th prime number. So it would become a good day for the Nationals to be 20-20 in the postseason all time. And the other thought for the Nationals, though, with the date numerology is they're on 71 total losses for the season. So if they don't lose, they'll stay on 71 losses on the 71 date. And then that might set them up to pick up number 72 on the 72 date the next day. The Astros, they are 46-53 in the postseason. That means if they lose 4 games, they're going to get their 57th postseason loss. World Series is 57. Nationals is 57. And remember, huge championship number. In college baseball, we were leaning towards whoever won the College World Series got their 57th win, and their manager was 57 years old. I already forget what it was. Was it Vanderbilt? Yeah, because you had the death of Anderson Cooper's mother, who was a Vanderbilt, and then Vanderbilt won the World Series, and their manager was 57, and they got their 57th win of the season. Or if I'm misremembering that, maybe they started the final game of the College World Series with 57 wins. It was one of those two things, but the 57s were there for Vanderbilt. Big World Series number, big championship number. So Astros get eliminated, 57th postseason loss all time. And that's really hard to go against. Even though the whole world thinks the Astros are going to win, I'm going to be surprised if the Nationals don't win this World Series. They got the numbers. So if the Astros win 3 games, they'll get to 49 wins. Washington's 49. Now, Washington is also 50. So if the Astros won the World Series, they would get to 50 wins. Washington's 50, but I can't take that over the 57 World Series number. So if they win 3 games, 49 wins. Washington's 49 in the most pure cipher. If they won just 1 game, DC's 47. And right now, the Astros in World Series for games played, they are 4-7 right now. They got swept in 2005, I think by the White Sox. And then they beat the Dodgers the other year 4-3. So they're 4-7 in World Series. That means if they won tomorrow, they'd be 5-7. And again, Nationals and World Series are both 57. So that's the one that's like, ooh, that's hard to go against right there. Now, Caller a minute ago pointed out how if they lost 2 in a row, there'd be some rhyme and reason to it. They would be 4-9 in the World Series if that happened, and Washington's 49. But it's hard to ignore that they can get to 5-7 tomorrow. World Series, Nationals 57. And Max Scherzer, nothing really screamed out to me about his birthday alignment with Game 1. He is on 94 all-time losses. Hold on. I should have wrote right here that he can become 7-5 in the postseason because Houston Astros is 75. He could stay on 94 all-time losses as well. When you write out 94, it's 147 and 57 like World Series. Scherzer's 13-7 for this entire year. And if he won, he'd be 14-7 World Series, 147. If he lost, he'd be 13-8, where Nationals is 138. Caller?
Yeah, Zach. I just want to mention something. You were looking for a 9/11 connection with the Jets game. Isn't this the 119th game tonight?
Let me double check that right now. Was there anything else you wanted to say? If not,
there was one tie that you didn't put down. You said 64 and 53, but there was one tie. Today's the 119th game.
let me double check that. Wait a minute.
If you look at NFL Reference.
No, you're right. It's the 119th regular season game. If you count the postseason games, it's even more. But you're right. It is the 119th game.
Huh. Right, but we're just going by regular season today. That's what it is.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, great observation. I can't believe I didn't see that before. That's the Jets. The Jets' 9/11 riddle to upset tonight is to make home teams 6-8 because 68's the big 9/11 number. So yeah.
Yeah, I like it.
All right, man. All right. Appreciate that. Thank you. I can't believe I didn't notice that. I'm glad he caught it. That's the best riddle for the Jets tonight. The 6-8 with the home teams because that's the big 9/11 number, and it's possible. I tell you what, I would love to see it, especially if Brady got hurt. And again, for people who weren't here earlier, it was pointed out that today is Mo Lewis's 50th birthday. That's who sacked and injured Drew Bledsoe that gave rise to Tom Brady, who played for the New York Jets. Today is his 50th birthday, Mo Lewis. All right, let me finish going through these notes. I need to plug in here that Scherzer could become 7-5 for his postseason career. World Series is 75 if you use the rule with S, just like Houston Astros is 75. But Scherzer, for his entire year, it's tricky. Nationals 138, World Series 147. And Scherzer's 3-1 versus the Astros in his career. First time facing them in the postseason. Garrett Cole, his numbers, nothing really screams out to me about his numbers other than how he's going for that 20 straight. Cole is 3-2 versus the Nationals. If he lost, he'd be 3-3. Nationals is 33 in the most pure cipher, but it's also 42. Use that rule for S. Dave Martinez, again 8-2 in the postseason. If he did win, he'd be 9-2. Astros 92. AJ Hinch 25-18 in the postseason. Nothing really screams out to me about his postseason record, win or lose. So it honestly does look like more things stack in favor of the Nationals. I'm just having trouble going against Garrett Cole ending his streak because I could see why he would get to 20. You could make an argument for him ending at 19. And the best single stat for the Astros is just that they can become 5-7 in World Series. So the game's not till tomorrow. These notes are out there. Gives us time to think about it. Maybe dig up some, undeniable artifact that tips the scales. But I'm going to plug in that Scherzer can become 7-5 in the postseason because that would be a great way to start it off. Houston Astros 75, Washington Nationals 75. So let's leave it there. I'll take this one last call, and then we can watch the pregame, see if they give us anything. I'll post. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Hey.
Hey, so a few things on this World Series. If you type in 115, it equals 92, like Astros.
And American League's 115, too.
Right, and so I was looking up, like, the total World Series, and National League's got 47 wins, and American League has 67. So I don't know if a 68 or a 48 is present in any of the teams, but I haven't been able to find anything. But if you count all the prior World Series from when they started keeping the modern era stats, it's actually going to be the 54th World Series that the National League could win, and Nats equals 54.
Huh. Okay.
So that's kind of a clue that could possibly play, because I know that's their nickname, but that's not what they go by, but it's their nickname. It's like what they call, like, the Nats. And I remember seeing this sign that this guy had in the stands in the game where they right before they clinched. It was the game before where they were playing the Cardinals. Said something about Nats Magic. I'm gonna try to pull it up. Maybe I can text it to you. It's a picture. This guy had a sign that said something about Nats Magic. So I think maybe that saying might have something to do, because you know how, like, when we were doing the NHL Stanley Cup,
right?
The sign that a fan had led us to believe in the Blues to win.
Well, check out Nats Magic. It equals 87. Scherzer's pitching 87 days after his birthday. Nats Magic equals 33 like Nationals. It also equals 156 like when you write out 33. And then it also equals 57 like Nationals and World Series. So, yeah, I see the magic of Nats Magic.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's interesting because now I was like, I wonder if there's anything to Scherzer pitching 87 days after his birthday. Well, it fits in with Nats Magic. So,
wow, that's interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. If you wanted to look into to verify the numbers, what I looked into was if you go on Baseball References and you look up the playoffs and you count the individual championship, the World Series championships from the modern day, from when they started keeping the stats to now, it's 47 for National League, 67 for American League. But then prior to when they started keeping track of the modern day, there was a potential for a 54th for the National League. So I don't know if that's going to play, but Nats does equal 54. I just want to point that out.
Okay.
All right,
I'll think about that more. All right, appreciate it.
All right.
See you. Caller?
Exact. Playboy on the chat here pointed something out that NL is on their 48th World Series, going for 49, and Washington equals 49.
So the AL or the NL can get 49?
NL.
Oh, yeah, so Washington get the 49th for the NL. That makes a whole hell of a lot of sense right there.
Yeah, but that goes to Playboy. He's on the chat, so just wanted to make sure that was on there.
Okay, yeah, good job, Playboy. I see him out there. All right, thanks. All right, let's wrap it up. It's always good to catch just before the game starts because they'll usually throw out some good stats. I want to turn on the game right now. I can't do that on the live stream. I'll get a copyright strike. But if I see them throw out any great nugget, I will be sure to post on Patreon. Again, Patriots are going for their 8th straight win against the Jets. We have not seen 8 Riddle fail yet this year. Doesn't mean it wouldn't fail tonight, but they're 3 for 3 this week. I'd say for the year, it's probably somewhere around 10 out of 10, maybe even more than that. Every streak of 8 that we've documented has come through. So this NFL week began with a streak of 8. The Chiefs beating the Broncos 8 straight. We saw the Packers beat the Raiders for the 8th straight. We saw the Redskins pick up their 8th straight home loss. So this would be the 4th streak of 8 to hit just in this NFL week alone if the Patriots win tonight, beating the Jets for the 8th straight time. And if the Patriots win tonight, it will be their 9th straight win in the regular season. Jets equals 9. That said, just real quick, the devil's advocate narrative, the reason that the Jets could upset tonight, they could make home team 6-8. 6-8. And that's the 9/11 number. 1968, again, gone over it a million times. After the last game, Brady had 911 passing yards against the Jets through the first 3 weeks of the season. This is the 119th regular season game tonight. If the Jets win, the Patriots will get their 54th regular season loss. It's the year of Super Bowl 54. Jets equals 54 in ordinal and reverse ordinal. Tom Brady could stay on 213 regular season wins. Monday Night Football's 2-1-3. And those are the primary big ones that could go in the Jets' favor. So, and again, it's Mo Lewis's birthday. The man who ruined Drew Bledsoe that gave rise to Tom Brady. Mo Lewis turns 50 years old today. Brady's 50. Playboy says Game 5's on a 49 date numerology. And if that happened, if the Nationals won 4-1, that would be the ultimate Skull and Bones tribute. And again, at the end of the regular season, if you took my advice, I really encouraged it. I said I'd put down a bet for a Nationals and Astros World Series. The Skull and Bones riddles, we followed them all year, so we knew it was a real riddle. And here we are, Nationals and Astros. The ultimate Skull and Bones tribute would be winning the series 4-1. The next best would be 4-3 because Yale's 43. The Bushes are all connected through the number 43 as well, but Skull and Bones equals 41. HW was number 41. And again, so we'll leave it there, you guys. Oh, hold on. One last call, and then we'll wrap it up. Caller?
Hey, Zach. I just got some news about the ref. Sean Fucili.
Hockey.
Yes. It's his second Jets game as a referee, following last season game 11 Jets-Patriots game at MetLife. That was a 38-3 whipping in favor of the Pats.
Yes, that's in my notes. He's reffed the last 2 Patriots and Jets meetings, and the Patriots have won both those games. They're 2-0 against the Jets when he's the ref.
All right. I just thought, but
all right, appreciate it. All right, thanks, man. All right, see you. Okay. Yeah, if you want to take the Jets just because you hate the Patriots and you like an underdog, I mean, just don't bet the house on them because, again, Patriots are going for 8 straight. We haven't seen those riddles beat this year, so. All right, leave it there. Be back tomorrow. Tomorrow I will start at noon Pacific. That's 3 o'clock Eastern time, and count on all the live streams to start at that time unless I announce a different time, but that's what we'll do so we have more time before the games to discuss and for people to think about things. So noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, that's going to become the consistent live stream time, and then when baseball season starts again, which is months away, I guess it's not over yet, is it? But you know what I mean. When the regular season starts, we'll go back to our early start time because baseball starts early. So, all right. Good luck, everybody. Be back tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Till next time.